of the day is a motion on lingering boundary dispute between Enugu Otu and Enugu Otu community of Aguleri in Anambra State and Odeke Ichohon communities in Ibaji local government area of Kogi State, standing in the name of Honorable Obidigwe Chinedu Benjamin. Hon Benjamin is invited to put the motion.
Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Chinedu Benjamin Obidigwe, Anambra East and West Federal Constituency, Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, my motion is on the lingering boundary dispute between Enugu Otu, Enugu Otu communities of Aguleri in Anambra State and Odeke Eshon communities in Ibaji local government of Kogi State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House notes that the boundary dispute between Enugu Otu and the Enugu Otu communities of Aguleri in Anambra East local government of Anambra State and the Odeke Eshon communities in Ibaji local government area of Kogi State, which has claimed many lives, has lingered for many decades. The House recall that on Thursday, 6th August 2015, the House urged the National Boundary Commission, NBC, to expedite action regarding the amicable resolution of the dispute between the communities. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House aware that the National Boundary Commission, in a letter dated 28 August 2019, following an inquiry on the matter, stated that an attempt was made to locate 7 points identified as turning points of the boundary from the 1969 Kaba Province administrative map physically in the ground using GSP. But the exercise was inconclusive due to its disruption by the use of Odeke community. The House also aware that the National Boundary Commission further stated that out of the 5 established points during the field work, preliminary review showed that 3 of them did not fall in the expected position as described in the Gazette Notice 126 of 1954, and that there is no conclusive documentary evidence of the extent of work, as the report of the last field work has not been received and discussed by the meeting of the officials. Also, the House informed the National Boundary Commission advised stakeholders to allow peaceful atmosphere and cooperation to enable the resumption of the field work to conclude all outstanding works. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House also informed that the communities having the boundary dispute have done enough to ensure peaceful atmosphere in the area by reaching some local dialogue that can help the National Boundary Commission field workers to resume work. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House, cognizant of the need for the provision of an enabling environment so that the National Boundary Commission could complete the demarcation of the boundary between the communities for the overall interest of the people of the area. The House resolves, 1, to call on the National Boundary Commission to expedite action to ensure completion of the boundary demarcation exercise. 2, Also call on the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of the Department of State Services, DSS, the Chief of Army Staff, to provide adequate security in the area to enable the National Boundary Commission complete the demarcation of the boundary between the communities. Number 3, the House mandates the Committee on Police Affairs, National Security and Intelligence, Army and Special Duties to ensure compliance and report back in 6 weeks for further legislative action. I so move.
By my brother, Honorable Chinedu Benjamin Obidigwe. Mr.
The opportunity given to me to move this motion is a rare one indeed, and thank you for such opportunity. Mr. Speaker, it is a known fact that Anambra, axis of Anambra East, especially the communities of Aguleri and their Ibaji neighboring communities of Kogi State, have been on locked horn for a very long time over a protracted issue bordering on boundary matters. Mr. Speaker, this very motion calling on national boundary to ensure quick resolution of the crisis by making sure that they carried out the assignment given to them earlier before today is very, very expedient on the ground that many lives and wanton destruction of properties have been carried out in the area. Mr. Speaker, for crying out loud, we are one Nigeria, and we need to be our brother's keeper in all circumstances. Mr. Speaker, not to talk about a situation where brothers, simply demarcated by creation of states, will be killing each other as a result of boundary issue. Mr. Speaker, this boundary becomes very important. The exercise must be carried out, owing to the fact that sometime in 2014, former President Goodluck Jonathan pronounced Anambra State as an oil-producing state. Mr. Speaker, Anambra State up till today has not been included as an oil-producing state simply because of this boundary issue, because that is where the oil rigs are located. Mr. Speaker, we want my constituents as well as the state at large, and I know that what I'm speaking here must also be favoring both sides. No one is cheated. All we want to say is that we need to know where is this boundary located, because from the earlier gazettes, it is very clear and totally unambiguous. Mr. Speaker, I appeal to the Honorable House, my honorable colleagues, the entire Hollow Chamber, and the entire Nigeria to cooperate with this motion and support this motion to quicken the National Boundary Commission to do the needful in order to spare the life of innocent citizens of both sides, Anambra and Kogi. Mr. Speaker, that's the basic and the main essence of this motion. Thank you, and may God keep you alive.
I would rather plead that we go by the prayers of the motion to allow the Boundary Commission security be provided in those areas. It's just every matter, I suppose, that it may bring to the end. In the light of that, I put a question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.